This is the 2025 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Malt Experiment, Amber Ale. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out their new online straight-to-consumer homebrew shop where you can buy everything from Star San and Line Cleaner to the new liquid PBW that can be used at temperatures as low as 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Check out their online store at 5starchemicals.com/home-brewing. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. A local homebrew shop in Danvers, Massachusetts. Order any malt they offer in any quantity you want, and if you order before 11 a.m., they'll package your items and ship out the very same day. Visit the store at www.beer-wine.com. Let's get tasting.
Hello, folks. Hello, everyone in YouTube land and fellow Brewtubers. This is Kurt from Fermentation Adventures, checking back in with beer number 8 of the 2025 Brewtubers Specialty Malt Experiment. For the eighth beer, I'm going to review my buddy Matt from Wrecked Brewery, his Myrtle Beach Baked Buns beer. This is the beer I'm reviewing. Purpose of the experiment, again, everyone brewed the same amber ale recipe, which I'll throw over here. Same base amber recipe. Everybody chose a specialty malt to include to the recipe. We all brewed it. We've all shared the beers, and now we're all tasting them for impressions on what that malt had brought to the beers, and we're all doing a ranking to kind of get a sense of, for me, I'm ranking it based on how I enjoy the malt in the amber ale recipe and extracting it out from there. Again, Matt here, Matt at Wrecked. Again, his can will be probably on a spinner here as well, so you can get a better view of it. His specialty malt is from Carolina Malt House, and it's their biscuit malt. He added 8 ounces of it. So his beer itself, the original gravity was 1050. The final gravity was 1007 for a ABV of 5.6% with 33 IBUs, like pretty much everyone else. So again, his ABV is, as far as the beers I've tried so far, a little on the higher side. This year, unlike some previous beers I've reviewed through the experiments, everything has been in a pretty tight range as far as ABV goes, except for, I think it was just Seansies came in a little bit below 4%, but everything is pretty much about, in the 4 to the 4.5 to 5.5 range. Nothing is wildly out of whack. I know last year some of the beers were kind of imperial fruited wheats, but this year, it's things are well in line. Anything else I want to mention from this? No. Let's open up his beer and let's start tasting and see how it lines up. Oh, sorry. The one thing I was going to mention, I will mention before I open it, the biscuit malt did pull up here some of the descriptors. The Carolina Malt House claims the biscuit malt is reminiscent of warm, freshly baked baguette and the toasty sweet underside of a cookie. Both of those are very descriptive, and unfortunately, I've never had a freshly baked baguette, and I never thought to smell the underside of a cookie. And again, there's a lot of range in a cookie. I'm a big shortbread cookie fan. I doubt there's shortbread flavors in here. But it's just me picking on things. It's all good. Nice big pop and hiss. Immediately the foam is at the ready. So let's pour up here. Again, biscuit malts. As I look here, nice carbonation. There is a very slight haze that I could see through the glass. It is really clear. I think I'm more or less calling out the haze here because Seansies beer and even Jerry's beer was clearer than Matt's here, but this is definitely clearer than some of the others, right? So there is good clarity with the beer. A nice 1/4 inch, let's say, cap of foam with a nice off-white, maybe even touching ivory foam. I'd say no, I'd still just call this a little off-white here. And again, getting a nice little, some nice foam rings around the edge of the tulip glass here. Again, it is on the lighter end of the amber scale. If I'm trying to find the color, yeah, 8 ounces, 25 Lovibond for this malt. It's not going to add a lot of color. It is going to leave it at the low end of the amber ale range. So let's go for a sniff here. Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm getting some toast. And yeah, some toastiness here. I'm getting some fruity esters. And what else are we getting here? Some slight toast. Not getting dark fruit that I got from some of the other beers. I am getting a little bit of a, not a berry, kind of a, I'd say like a dark grape character. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, the sniffing here, with me being a bit stuffed up, is probably not great on the camera. But yeah, some later malt aromas are coming through here. Some of the little bit of the baked sweet. And again, some biscuit. All right, let's go for a sip. Yeah, that's better. And a bit on the retronasal well. Yeah, definitely getting some of the more biscuit flavors. It is, I do think I'm getting some of the hops really come through here a bit more than I have with some of the other, most of the other beers I've tried. You know, I am getting a little bit, I think a little bit of a floral hop flavor, which again is not really the focus in here, but it is coming through quite a bit, which is interesting in itself. Yeah, the bready, getting more breadiness come through for here. Again, the body seems to be quite light. Again, the finished gravity is 1007. So even seeing that, I still, definitely there's more. I'm more attributing to like the body. I think the body is really light here. The finish is really clean, but I don't think knowing that the final gravity is 1007 is influencing me here. But yeah, it's a good beer. It's a really nice beer. Very drinkable. Does not taste boozy at being at 5.6%. It does come off a touch dry. So again, that's probably where there's some of this sweetness might be missing from the overall presentation of the beer and the malt. I definitely get a little bit of that biscuit coming through though. Yeah, I like it. It's good. Like I said, it's probably a little bit on the, while it is drinkable, and I think my beer, my example kind of fell into this as well. It's almost a little too flabby is not the right word, but a little too drying for when the style really hits well. So again, it's probably a little bit more on that kind of dryness. But it's really good, getting kind of the toasty notes, a little bit of the subtle caramel, nothing that's really straying into the dark fruit like some of the other beers that again which I thought was quite nice, again with more of a more present biscuit flavor for whatever reason. you know, the biscuit is definitely in here, the biscuitness and the and some of the toast, but it doesn't seem to be as pronounced as some of the other beers that we that I've tried. You know, again, Billy's Melanoid, and it seemed to be just that much with the Melanoid malt, just seemed to be that much more complex with the overall beer. But you know, either way, this is still a very drinkable beer, and I still enjoy it. So with that, so let's wrap that up here. If I come in and start to rank Matt's beer here, Wreck Brewery's beer here, where would I put that? So again, I'm leaving Billy at the top with the Melanoid and malt beer. Drew is still number 2 with the Griffin malt. Hattie, I'd still have number 3 with the Ashburn malt. Matt here and Wrecked. Do I want to put this above or below the honey malt? Interestingly enough. Yeah, I think I'll put this just above Shawnzy, Brookside Brews with the honey malt. So let's put Matt and Wreck Brewery here with the biscuit, C-U-I-T, malt right here. So he's number 4. Then the rounding out the rest of the top 8, we have Sean, Brookside with the honey malt, Brewmaster Jerry with the special roast, Hunt with the Opal 44, and then my beer rounding it out in 8th with the Cinnamar. So that is it, and this is the last beer I'm going to be tasting tonight. I have 3 left to go, and interestingly enough, Matt was the first beer out of all these of a member that I had met in person, which is kind of interesting because I feel like I've met a lot of Brewtubers in person. But the last 4, I sort of did it that way. I was kind of getting rid of the bottles and stuff first, and then I realized, hey, I have 6 beers left. 4 of these guys I've met before in person. 2 I haven't. So let's just finish it off with the folks I haven't. So I have left to come up here. I have Rigger Brews. Dan left with his Cara Red. Nick from Exit 12 with his Red X. And the last person is Matt from Irondale Brewing. I almost said Ironside. I forget his variable, but he is definitely one of the last 3. So there's 3 left to go. Really excited to be wrapping this up. And a final shout out to 5 Star Chemicals and Beer and Wine Hobby. Beer and Wine Hobby. And let's wrap it up for this evening. Cheers.